We talk about the environmental challenges in the context of business ethics and sustainability. But first of all, what do we mean when we talk about the environment? There is the definition of the biophysical or natural environment, the surroundings of an organism, including its survival, development, and evolution, the nature itself, so to say. Then there is another type of environment, the built or modified one, the man made structures or spaces, from gardens to roads to buildings. But environment can also be associated with social, cultural, or business contexts. And with all these different types of environments, problems arise. One type of environment can be destroyed, while another type is being created. This is why we're facing environmental challenges such as climate change, biodiversity loss, pollution and waste, depletion of resources, and ethical issues. To have a closer look, we first go to climate change. This is caused by the greenhouse effect, a process by which the thermal radiation from a planetary surface is absorbed by the atmosphere and is re-radiated in all directions, resulting in an elevation of the average surface temperature. Factors contribution to climate change include the increase of emission of greenhouse gases such as carbon dioxide or methane as a result of fossil fuel combustion, intensified agricultural production, ocean depletion, and deforestation. Political agreements on reducing the effects of climate change are, for example, the Kyoto Protocol or the Paris Agreement, dealing with greenhouse gas emissions, mitigation, adaptation, and finance. Another big problem we're facing is the biodiversity loss. Today, already over 19,000 species are threatened with extinction. Within the next 40 to 50 years, about 25% of the mammals and about 41% of the amphibians on this planet will be extinct. Pollution and waste is also another challenge we're facing. Pollution is because there are also many threats posed by chemical pesticides on human health and the environment. Examples from all over the world of technology caused disasters have occurred. One is, for example, the Chernobyl disaster, the explosion of a nuclear power plant in the Ukraine. Another challenge to sustainability is the huge amount of waste that ends up either in landfills, incinerators, or in the oceans. There's already a lot of waste, especially plastic, in our ecosystem, and the Great Pacific Garbage Patch is a huge collection of plastic and trash floating on the ocean. Another environmental challenge is the depletion of resources. The tragedy of the commons means free access to an unrestricted demand for a resource that ultimately depletes it. As we're using too much of resources that can naturally grow in the same time we use them, resources become less and less. And one reason for that is the Industrial Revolution, when a rapid increase in the use of materials and energy started and resulted in water and air pollution. When we talk about ethics and sustainability and environmental challenges, this all has to do with moral and ethical questions. There are different approaches to protect the environment, and there are also different positions on that. For example, there's the anthropocentrism, the position that humans are more important or morally superior to most other species. And then there's the ecocentrism. This denotes a nature-centered system of values. An ecocentric approach recognizes the intrinsic value of other species, independent of human interests. But now let's have a look on how companies deal with that in real life. Coca-Cola as an international company talks and does a lot about the just discussed topics. For example, they deal with topics concerning the environment like water, agriculture, climate, and packaging. They're releasing sustainability reports and even make it possible for the consumer to track the goals they set. The goals for climate and water have been published, the ones that they want to reach until 2020, and the goal tracker shows this to the people. In my opinion, the environment challenges we just talked about are all caused by human activities, and therefore all of them also need to be fixed by humans. Companies should not only talk about the CSR activities, but integrate them into their whole value chain to really try to become sustainable and not just only talk about it.